Everybody, I'm Lillian and this is my response to the YMCA video we had to watch. Okay, so I have the questions here, so if I'm like looking over here, that's why. But the first question is, what did you learn from this documentary that you wish everybody knew? So I learned a lot of the Christian background from this documentary. I knew that what it stood for. I knew what the YMCA acronym was for, the Young Men Christian Organization. I knew that's what it was, but I guess I didn't realize how much of a deeply rooted Christian background it was. And for me, that is pretty, that resonates with me just because, I have my own religious beliefs and I do like to spread that with everybody. So that was pretty cool to learn about, and I really enjoyed, what George Williams had to say about it and just the background of it. But I also liked how they said to be a volunteer or an employee there, you don't have to be Christian, which is also great because you have to be inclusive for everybody. But I think that's something that I wish everybody knew, because I bet a lot of people didn't know that it was a Christian organization. I definitely gained new insight about the YMCA. I learned all the facts about how they were providing aid for soldiers during the Civil War and World War I. That was insane. They raised over $200 million during World War I. They raised over $6 million, and they handed out Bibles during the Civil War. This is all new insight to me that I had no idea that the YMCA was a part of this, because in history classes, we don't learn about the aid that was provided for soldiers and where that came from. So that was new insight for me, which I thought was amazing. So I am inspired by this documentary because it started from nothing. It was just a boy, George, one of 9 kids, and he couldn't farm, so he couldn't live out that family's legacy. So he decided to start something for himself, of himself, and he started with with his friends, and that is really inspiring to me. You don't have to follow along with what your family wants you to do. You can start your own ideas, your own things, and he did this and he ran with it, and look where it is now. So that's insane to me, because now there's 14,000 locations worldwide and 2,600 in the US. That is so impressive to me. So this question, do you think the YMCA is living up to the creator vision that George Williams had? That's kind of a loaded question because there's going to be opinions about it, but my personal opinion is I would say kind of. So yes, in the way that they're still giving back. The YMCA still gives back. So I think they're living out that vision. However, I don't feel like the deeply rooted Christian vision that's within the YMCA, I don't think that's necessarily being lived out, because he does say, I'm reading this from George Williams' speech that he gave. It says, "From the bottom of my heart, I pray that you each, with all who have been or may yet be students in the training school, may be mighty owned by God." Very touching. He was obviously a very big Christian, wanted everybody to know God, have a relationship with God, and I don't think that's still happening now. I bet a lot of people don't even know that the YMCA is a deeply Christian-rooted organization, so that's the only reason why I lean towards no, but there's still a way. My opinion about the present day YMCA, I was kind of just saying, I've never been to the YMCA, but I know my brother is a member there. When I think of the YMCA, I just think of a gym and a pool, because that's all I've ever known about it. I've never learned about it. I honestly didn't even know it was a nonprofit until this class. So that's my opinion. I really don't know much to voice an opinion, I guess, but that's just what I think of when I think of the YMCA. So yeah.